This is a very easy exercise, but it's a good way to look at type, a different way to look at it. So if we jump into this image, I've placed this picture in the background here on Illustrator. I'm going to go to Object while it's selected, and I'm going to go Lock Selection, just so I can't bump it or move it. And this is based on a drawing exercise that's called the wandering line. And what you do is, if I get, in this case, a pencil tool, I've got the line tool there with no fill, and I'm just going to draw so I can see the thickness of the line. I'll delete that. Maybe I'll make it 2 point, just a little bit easier to see. What you do is you follow the contour of any line, but when it gets to a different line, you can break, you can follow any line whatsoever. So for this first one, I'm going to do the letter A, and I start here. It shall start down here somewhere. And I'm going up the side of his head. I'm following the hairline. When I hit this red thing in the background, I'm following that shape down the edge. And when I hit the shirt, I'm going to go and follow that, and then follow down the front of this person's face. Just going to click on the background so the line's not highlighted, and then I'm going to follow this line around the shoulder of that person. So that creates, for me, the A. So I'm going to write aroha. So now I'm looking for a letter R. It doesn't matter where it is because we can kind of put the letters together later. So I'm going to go down here, and actually I'll go back over that line, back here. I'm going to follow this head down around the face, and I'm going to click off on the background, and I'm going to follow this line. Looks like there's some hair there. It's a pretty odd looking R, but we can look at that later. I'm going to do this guy's here. It's going to be the O, the H. I'm going to follow this hair down here, follow the collar down the edge of the shirt. The reason I click off on the background every now and again is that the settings on this means that if I keep drawing it, it's going to add to this line. So I just want to essentially unselect it and then start drawing again. So this is drawing the H. So I'm just going to do the A again. So I'm running down this hairline around here, click off on the background, and with this bit through the middle, I'm going to follow that red, and then I'm going to follow the blue, and that's going to give the A. Now with all of this, if I go back in the middle, I can go Object, Unlock All, delete that off. Now with my letter forms, I can start to play and rotate them and shuffle them around until I've got something that I like. At this stage, it kind of looks quite intriguing. The only one that looks a little bit off is this one for the letter R. So this is a moment where I can kind of go back in and mess with things a little bit. So I'm using the pen tool just to delete off some lines, and maybe if I bring it back in here, it starts to look a little bit more like an R again. So I can grab these things, and like I say, I can rotate them, shift them around until things look like they're starting to make an interesting letter form. And at this stage you can still select everything and change the line weight and mess around with it and see if that looks any better. But you can get some really interesting shapes that come out of it just from doing this kind of abstract exercise.